Okay, so hey guys, welcome back. So in this part we're going to go ahead and do this top piece, and before we go ahead and get into this, we'll probably have time to do this as well, and also we'll just do a quick touch up on this piece, okay, because it looks like super flat. Before we go ahead and do that, I'm just going to go ahead and select everything and then go to edit, delete all by type, history, in case we have anything going on. Okay, so let's go ahead and select that piece and let's just unsmooth this, and I'm just gonna make this a little bit tighter around here. So I'm just gonna add loop around here, and we'll also go ahead and just select all these faces real quick and just do an extrude on it, so we'll have a harder edge, so when light hits it, it will look a little bit nicer and not so flat. So let's just extrude that and then give it an offset of like 0.01 probably, or 0.05. That's too much. 0.03. What? 0.01. Right, I'm freaking out. 0.05 should do. Right, we'll just leave that as 0.05. So let's go ahead and smooth that now, so you see that it will have this nice round edge. Okay, and let's just go ahead and do the same thing with this, or we can duplicate it around, but it will probably take us a little bit longer. So let's just do an edge here and then select all these faces quick. Okay, and give it an extrude, and then again give a 0.05 extrude offset. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and smooth that as well. Okay, so that will look a little bit nicer. Right, so let's go ahead and do this top part. So just going to go into my front view, and we're going to actually let's go ahead and do it in the side view. So let's just drag out a cylinder and give it some height. If it would work, for some reason it didn't want to do it, so let's just do that again. Sorry about that. Let's just drag it out, give it some height. Okay, cool. Let's go into our front view and just snap this into the middle. Okay, and pull it down to roughly around there. I'm going to go into my perspective mode, and then our side view, let's just push this back a bit, probably roughly around there. So look here. Okay, so you got quite a lot of space here, so I'm just going to push this back a tiny bit more. Push it down. Okay, so I don't want them to interact with each other, but roughly there it should do. So this is going to be actually the bigger piece. Okay, so these bigger ones, as you can tell on mine, they interact a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's go ahead and duplicate this one and make a smaller one and then scale it outwards. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and scale this down quite a bit, so it's a lot thinner. And before we go ahead and do that, it might be an idea to add in the loops. I mean, these don't necessarily have to be smoothed, to be honest, but we will anyway. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm actually going to push this back to there and then scale this down a bit. Okay, roughly there. And I'll probably also move this up like so, so it doesn't interact with that piece over there. Okay, and then we'll push this one up. It might be an idea to actually just duplicate this again. Okay, so this is our main bar. Now I'll just put my reference on the other side. And let's go ahead and add in the loops for this before we go ahead and do anything else. So I'm just going to go into the side view, go to face and select all of these and extrude this. an offset 0.05 should do. 0.01 actually. Okay. And then we're going to use the insert edge loop tool and give it like 6. So it will split this up a bit nicer. Okay. And this tool, you gotta add in the loops on the edges. We've forgotten to do that. So I'm just gonna reset that tool and add one there and one on the other side as well. It doesn't really matter because it's not going to be seen too much, but might as well do it. So let's go ahead and smooth that. Okay, so now we can just go ahead and start duplicating this around. So I'm going to come out of this isolation, go back into full screen, and let's go ahead and duplicate this and scroll it down. Oops. On that, and then scale this up so it's a bit thicker, like so. Okay, and then we got 2 more I think to do. Actually, let's make this a little bit longer, probably around there. Then I'm gonna duplicate that one, and in my front view I'm just gonna go ahead and snap roughly there and then scale it. Let me just look. Let's go and move this around there. Okay, so it's roughly the width of this gap that we made. Now I'm just going to duplicate this and move it over to the other side. And again, I'm just eyeballing this. Okay, and now we just got to duplicate this one more time and scale this down quite a lot, and then we're going to have to get rid of some of these loops, but that's fine. And this is going to sit up right on the end here. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get rid of these loops, or at least a couple of them. So I'll delete them, so shift delete edge, and I'm going to select this edge loop and just move into the center. Okay, let's go into our perspective mode and see where this fits. Okay, and it doesn't really matter too much that these two interact here. It might, I mean, when it goes to rendering, it will take a little bit longer time here because they interact quite a lot, but visually it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, you could go ahead and move this whole piece up quite a lot, but I want to have it fairly low here because of this gap. We might go ahead and move this up a bit, and let's just go ahead and push this up and then in, and then maybe push it up a little bit more just to reduce this gap around here. Okay, so that should be fine. Let's go ahead and duplicate this and then shove it onto the other side. So this should be fairly easy to do. Okay, so I'm just looking on this side, see how that's looking. Okay, so that's alright. Right, so now that we have that one, we're gonna go ahead and do that little piece here, that little handle sort of thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that these are smoothed. So just hit 3 on all of them. Okay, and again, you can make this bar look different or have more detail and so on. I just don't want to spend ages on doing it. Right, so after we've done this piece here, we're going to go ahead and create this little handle for him. Okay, so let's go to modify and make live. And then we're just going to go ahead and drag out a rectangle and then drag it up and just sort of eyeball this for now. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and use our insert edge loop tool to go ahead and add in a loop there, and I'm just going to go ahead and make this not live. Ooh. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and select that, extrude that one out a bit like so, and we're going to go ahead and adjust this later on in a minute so it's the right size. I just want to block out the rough shape of this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add in a loop there, and then select that, and then extrude that, and go into our front view. And I'm just going to go ahead and snap that to the grid in the middle. Now in our side view, we're just going to go ahead and adjust the size of this. So I'm just going to select them verts on the bottom and drag these up a bit. And then I'm going to select all of the bottom ones here, push these up a bit. Okay, and that looks somewhat right. Okay, make sure that we delete this face here, and then select this, Control D to duplicate, and I'm just going to go ahead and again just snap the pivot of this to the center. So I'm just going to hold down X and snap into the grid in the middle there, and duplicate X minus 1, combine to 2 with mesh combine. And now I'm going to select these verts in the middle and merge vertices. Okay, and I don't think they merged properly. So let's just give a bigger offset, like 0.05. Okay, so I should have done the trick, hopefully. It should allow us to get rid of this edge loop. So just leave that edge. And there is some freakiness going on around here for some reason. Let's go ahead and delete the history. Edit, delete all by type history. Okay, and there's an extra duplicate, and that's why I was freaking out. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and add in the, make sure that we do modify center pivot on this. And then we just got to go ahead and add in all the loops for this so it will smooth. So insert edge loop. One there, one down here. Okay, so the usual insert edge loop business. And again, we're going to have to add in some extra loops for this to split up the long faces, so it will smooth nicer. Okay, so just checking if that goes all the way around. Okay, so I need it there, on one side. We could have probably just done one side and then duplicate it over, merge vertices, might have been a little bit faster. But again, it depends on your personal preference. And for some pieces, it's not always faster to go ahead and duplicate it. I mean, add in all the loops and then duplicate it over. Sometimes it might be easier to just go ahead and duplicate it over, merge it, and then add in the loops. Okay. Right, so I think we added in everything. Let's go ahead and add in the loops to split this up, and then we should be all good to go. So multiple edge loops, we'll probably need like 3 down here and there. We'll probably add 4 on the top. Okay, and let's just go ahead and add 1 here and add 1 there, and probably add 1 there as well, just to make sure that this is all nice. Okay, let's go ahead and smooth this, see if we missed anything. And we missed 1 there, 100%. So again, insert edge loop tool, open up the settings, reset it. Okay. That should be all good to go now. So let's just go ahead and smooth it now. Okay, and that looks pretty good. So again, I'm just going to check them bottom 2 corners, and that looks okay. It looks a bit soft. Let's just have a look, see if we missed anything. And that's because of this loop here. It's a bit far away, so let's just shove that a bit closer. Okay, that should be okay. So cool. Let's go ahead and push this in a bit more, and we might not be able to do that easily if we just change it to local. As you can see, our move doesn't change. So we're just gonna go ahead and that's because we've done the center pivot, and we're just gonna push this up a little bit. Okay, so it should be fine now. And I think we're gonna go ahead and push this down just a tad. So I'm gonna push it down and then out this way, and that should be all good. Okay, so we've done the handle as well, and now the only thing left for us is to do these sort of pipes, or suspension sort of system in here, and then I think we're pretty much done. So hopefully that shouldn't take us too long. So I'll see you guys in the next part, where we should be able to finish off Wally completely. Okay, so I'll see you guys then.